All right, we are live. Welcome back to yet another live stream. In this one, we'll take a look at some news, but we'll talk about the markets in general as well, of course. But first of all, welcome back. I hope you're all doing great. Hope you're all having a great start of this week so far. Bitcoin is doing pretty fine, pretty stable here. Broke above the POC, found resistance at the previous value area high. Plus the 0.618 fib, so that's fine. Mike, no, I reserved that for after the stream. Don't worry. Let me quickly send out some alerts that we are live right now. And then we're good to go. The news is in about what is it, like 6.5 minutes or so. So I'll quickly pin the link for the news in the chat so that you can follow it for yourself as well. And then I'll send out that we are live now. There we go. All right. Then also right here, and then also right here. Okay, yeah, we're good to go. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to a new stream. Boris, how are you? Welcome back to the stream. Hatim, welcome. Volume up. Is the volume low? Is it? It's not higher or lower than usual. Gotta say. Alex, welcome to the stream. Nizam, welcome to the stream. Is everyone having a good day? It's a bit of a quiet day so far. I mean, Bitcoin has been able to get some nice reclaims here. Blanket Bulb, welcome to the stream. What's up, everybody? Volume is good. Okay, wow, that's good. In that case, Stringfellow Hawk, you should turn the volume up. Yeah, Baby Doge short. I mean, those meme coins were absolutely pumping over the course of the weekends, of course, and this morning as well. I mean, Baby Dog and Nero, right? Nero did very well today. Baby Dog and Nero have the same market maker. I still remember from back in the day. So Nero was incredibly strong. I personally did not check out Baby Doge, but I know they have the same market maker. So if Nero was very, very strong, then obviously that was the case as well. TST will be fine, Alex. I mean, TST at this point of time, it could be doing better, but ultimately the volume is still elevated. We still have some decent support here. You could even say that we had a good breakout. So I would have preferred to DCA a little bit lower, but ultimately looks fine to hold, but we'll see, and if it changes, then we'll adjust our position making, of course, or decision making, of course. Anime also looking interesting here, but it did break above this level right here at 2.2 cents, but it's still kind of in the middle of this bigger resistance level. So we'll see. Pierre, welcome to the stream. How are you? Yeah, so we have CPI data in a little bit over 3 minutes. We'll see what it is. I mean, obviously we want lower than expected data. To be fair, if we take a look at the probabilities for a rate cut in June, it's about a 92% probability that we will not see rate cuts. And then for the 30th of July, we actually do have somewhat more of a chance. But for June, it still seems to be that we're going to get no rate cuts. If we get some very, very much lower than expected data from the CPI and the inflation rate, which, by the way, I sent the link of this website down in the description. All right, so check that out. Then that could send markets higher. All right, and then we actually have a possibility for a rate cut in June, in July, and that would be bullish. All right, certainly with the tariffs that have come down a little bit, that would certainly be bullish. And in general, I mean, do I think this news really matters right now? Ultimately, I think it's going to cause volatility, but I don't think it's going to cause a breakout. All right, at least not today, right? I mean, if we actually do get some lower than expected inflation rate data, then that's another confluence as to why we're expecting a move into 106,000. Which I still am expecting, but let's say that the inflation rate is higher than expected here. I don't think anything will change, all right? Because we do not expect a rate cut in June, and the highest probability for July, the end of July, is also no rate cut, right? So higher than expected data here. It's not the end of the world. We'll probably, I mean, if the data is actually higher than expected and we react to it very severely, I will probably long, all right, because I think it's an overreaction, because ultimately higher than expected data right here doesn't really change anything, while lower than expected data does change something. Yeah, that gap on the S&P 500, Boris, if the inflation is higher than expected, I think we can fill that. Otherwise, I think we'll fill that partially, but not much. Nego, no problem. People like you are why I make them. So I'll gladly continue doing that. BitTensor, Tau, yes, good project. Would I buy it right here? No, but to accumulate it, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'd wait for lower, but it is a solid project, in my opinion at least. We'll take a look at some other coins in a moment. Selling may go away. It's starting to look a little bit more like that, right? First of all, I said no, because usually selling may and go away is only relevant if you actually have a bullish Q1 and a bullish spring. And we did not have that, but obviously that turned around quite a bit in April right here, April, May. April into May, so maybe, but for now I would still say technically it looks most likely that we're going to get some bullish momentum. But news in 37 seconds, everybody. News in 37 seconds. Like I said, there's a link pinned in the chat. There you can follow it live, because there is a bit of a delay on this live stream, all right? Be aware of that. So when I see the data, it has already been known for about 15 seconds, all right? And 15 seconds, well, does it matter? Probably not, but still. And will I trade this CPI? No. Peter, Injective, yes, interesting project. I have price alerts set up for it, but at this point of time, I would not buy. But it's interesting to buy. I mean, it usually rallies quite hard, and we have the data. It usually rallies quite hard. All right, let's see what we have. Slightly lower than expected. Okay, that's good. That's good news. Now watch the market dump on some good news. But no, data is good. It's across the board except for the core inflation rate. It's lower than expected. The CPI data is lower than expected. The inflation rate month on month is lower than expected. Core inflation rate month to month is lower than expected, and the normal inflation rate is 2.3%, so we're getting closer to that benchmark of 2%, and this does actually mean that we have a possibility for a rate cut, in my opinion, and who am I? Nobody. But in June, but definitely for July. I mean, the ratios, the probabilities still have to update, but this is good news. Now, before we talk about some things here, and before we talk about this data, good news does not always equate to short-term bullish price action, all right? So I would personally not long Bitcoin right now. It could also be that this is good news that whales will sell into, all right? Because unfortunately, there's quite a lot of retail trading Bitcoin. They see this data, they think, oh, that's good data, I'm going to go long. So what you then create is you create liquidity for whales to sell into. Right, so you can already see right now, volume is actually still not that high, but volume is quite high. So volume is quite high. So a lot of people are buying Bitcoin right now, while we are at resistance. So that's the excellent timing for whales to sell positions. So be aware that this is good news, right? This is bullish. This is bullish for maybe not today, but this is bullish for the next couple of weeks going into the summer and into the next two Federal Reserve interest rate meetings. However, short term, we could still see price action like this, all right? Be aware of that. But that's it. That's the news. So for those of you tuning in later, Good news, all right. We got good news right here. The inflation rate data across the board is lower than expected, except for the core inflation rates. But personally, I care more about the CPI and the normal inflation rate, and core inflation rate more recently, so month on month, is also lower than expected. So this is good data. It's good for the markets, which you can also see right here, by the way. Good for the markets, but I would be a bit cautious, right? I mean, they're like Boris also said in the chat, there is a bit of a gap to the downside for the S&P 500, which eventually will get filled. The US markets are opening in a little bit less than an hour. It's going to be volatile, all right? So this news, definitely good for the next month. Good news, all right? We want to see the inflation rate go down. And this in combination with the reduced tariffs on China, and in general, some trade deals being worked out by the US and other countries, that also decreases the uncertainty for the Federal Reserve. So one of the main things I would watch personally is, all right, well, what does it mean for the probabilities of a rate cut in June and July? And we will get more information about those probabilities later today. So I will post the link to this website as well, right here. So you can follow this, but this is crucial, right? The only reason why inflation rate matters for crypto is because it influences the monetary policy, all right? And this source I just sent is the best source for what is expected of the monetary policy by the Federal Reserve, by the US. So therefore it matters. But so far price action, it's just very volatile. I mean the volume has been quite high here as well. Like I said, long term, good news. We got good news across the board. Short term, it's complicated, right? It's just complicated. But let me see. Let me go through some chats here. Boris, I appreciate your vrijwilligerswerk. Scala, I hope so. Look, those Dino coins look pretty good. Like if you take a look at if you take a look at Hedera right here, I'm so tempted to buy this. I mean, we had a major breakout right here. In general, the structure is looking amazing too. Breakout here, continuation into there. It looks great, but I feel like buying Hedera right now and buying Stellar right now, it feels too easy. I have a little bit of a bad aftertaste with it. So look, you can see them on my watch list. I have a red tag attached to it, which means I'm looking at it every hour. But for now I'm still waiting. I'm being a little bit of a pussy right here. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, go Ajax, Roy. That's exactly. They need to win, because otherwise it would be absolutely crazy. Yeah, Sonic Zane. The Sonic volume is quite low. I'm not certain what it is. I think it's partially the market maker. The market maker behind Sonic seems to be a different one than normal projects, right? So that's guys. I mean, if you're going to spam, you get in timeout. But no, Sonic, I'm not certain. I'm not certain why the volume is lower. It seems to me that the volume compared to other projects is lower because of a different market maker, but that is pure speculation, and I don't think it actually matters that much for the price action ultimately. XRP I covered this morning, and that's still valid. That's still very much valid. XRP is most likely, in my opinion, going to consolidate a little bit on top of at 2.41 cents, and then after that I expect continuation up higher. Price action by Bitcoin, by the way, pretty good. Let's do a couple of requests for those of you tuning in a little bit later. We got good data. All right, CPI inflation rate was lower across the board. So that's good news for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is trading higher. The S&P 500, aka the stock market, is trading a little bit higher pre-market. So that's all good. However, short term, like this is the 1 hour time frame, I think that's very short term. Volatility can definitely happen. All right. Well, volatility can happen. Volatility will happen. That's the best way to talk about it. Is Sui doing well? Yeah, Sui has been on my radar for since yesterday morning. That is quite strong, but so far, I mean, Sui is not responding more to it than the general altcoin. Sui is still balancing here on top of 3.8. So I would say volume is also quite low. So Sui, I like it, right? And we're consolidating here. I think that consolidation will continue. Maybe a bit of a liquidity grab down, but ultimately I do expect a continuation up higher for this. But I don't really see any specific strength right now for Sui to suggest that we're going higher in the short term. I would say stability is more likely here. And that's also in line with what we're seeing from Bitcoin, right? Because the news was good, but Bitcoin at this point of time is still very stable rather than bullish. Mudeng, a lot of people are requesting Mudeng as well. Very strong this morning at a major resistance level. Ooh, Mudeng is actually potentially looking good for continuation. See, the problem I have with Mudeng is a little bit of it's not doing great in the divergence department. All right, you can see that Mudeng made these higher highs, and then we made these lower highs with the volume. So personally, I mean, technically, if we ignore the bearish divergences here, I would say this looks incredibly good, all right? Because Mudeng has been able to break above this level right here at 30 cents. And 30 cents historically, as you can see, is quite respected. So therefore, I'm also not going to be completely bearish on Mudeng here. It's just too risky. There's too many conflicting perspectives you can have on Mudeng for me to make this, or at least to deem this a valid price or valid coin to trade. I would say technically it's most likely to continue, but I would never buy that at this point of time. While the next resistance level is also at 40 cents, right? So the potential reward is also, I hate to say it, but quite limited. Tau BitTensor, yeah, I can take a look at that. Of course I can. At resistance here, major resistance at 480, 500. Strong uptrend here. Personally, or personal areas of interest are 400, 370, and 500. All right. I think if we want to get a continuation into 620, we need a break above 500. The momentum has been decreasing quite steadily over the course of the last 2 weeks. So for now, I would say the major opportunity for Tau is a pullback, all right? And not a continuation, even though I think you should be prepared for both, of course. But we're going to end the stream, guys. I have to get working on some other business and some other analysis. I will be posting a middle of the day market update in about an hour. If you have some very urgent requests, make sure to reply to me on X. All right, on X, I'm just called @cilinixcrypto, or join the Telegram Discord server and ask me in there. All right, at the end of the middle of the day market update, I can find some time to do some analysis in there. All right, so there I can quickly go over some analysis, and I can also have some time before that to cover that. So my apologies if I did not cover your coin. I mean, there's a lot coming in here to the left. So I'm trying my best, but please let me know in the Telegram, in the Discord. I try to analyze everything I see. Market right now, pretty strong. We don't have more data on the monetary policy, but like I said, I will take a look at this in the market update as well. US market is opening in about an hour. Be prepared for some volatility there. But that's what I think you need to know. And XRP, I covered this morning. My video on XRP is still very much valid from this morning. So hopefully that helps. But that's it for now. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being with the stream. Hopefully it helps. Hopefully it's valuable for all of you. Be aware of the US session. Be aware of the volatility then. And I will catch you all in my next videos. Thank you for watching.